Good morning and welcome to the Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. And guess what day it is today? It is Authors Brew Friday. And you all know what that means. That means we have a special guest in studio with us today that's going to spill the tea on her story and her books that's available globally in the marketplace. So, let's talk about it a little bit. I'm super excited because she has been with me for years. She is a part of the HOV publishing family. She has published two books with us. And just so you know, HOV Publishing is the official sponsor for Authors Brew Friday. So, with that being said, let's get into it because she's waiting for us so I can introduce her. All right. So, this Friday, we're featuring a powerful voice who turned pain into purpose, into the blueprint for empowerment. Joanne Cherisma joins us to share this story, her stories behind her transformative works. The meet so I just want you to meet the reader. I just want you to meet the real her. Her story is phenomenal. So you get a special treat today because we're going to dive into both of her books, all right? So both of her best-selling books. So let me just bring Joanne into studio with us. Bear with me. Hold on. Joanne, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm great. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling wonderful. I am so glad that you had the time because you are a busy woman. And
That's good.
not just with helping to save lives and stuff, you know? You're a busy woman because just recently you were nominated for we'll get all into that. I don't want to give it away. We'll get into it.
Okay.
But you have been with the Hope of Vision publishing family for years. And this is your second book with us. But the first book, I never thought I would be a statistic.
Yes.
That title in itself, it there's a lot that it says. And so what I want to do, I just want you to begin to share your journey with our audience, our community, because you speak to so many women, and I'm going to even say men that have really been able to go through something and come out and use that pain and turned it into your purpose. So tell us a little bit about what was the meaning behind this title, this book, this story. I never thought I would be a statistic.
All right. First, like I said, thank you for having me this morning. You as well, you've been doing great things. So I want to emphasize on that.
Thank you.
Um, I'm Joanne, right? Like you mentioned earlier, I have two publications. The first one, I never thought I would be a statistic. In which I share how I overcome a 5 years abusive marriage and the title. So, after going through the process and everything, I was kind of indecisive, but at the same time, I wanted a title that had meaning and, that was relatable and that could tell, at once. And I remember I was talking to a couple of friends, and until the book came out, I have to say nobody really knew what I was going through. Mostly because I carry a lot of guilt and shame along the way, and when I started talking about it, and people started asking me questions, how did you let this happen or whatever, and I was explaining. I was like, I grew up around strong women, and they always said, once it happened once, it's gonna keep happening. And but it kind of like hit different when it happened, right? And I was like, huh, yeah, I did. Somebody did mention, we had that conversation, like once it happened, it always gonna keep happening. And I went in all girls school, and we had that strong mindset. You know, we're gonna do this when we get older, and we had this vision for our lives. And that's when I was like, huh. I never envisioned this for myself. Like I never thought I would be a statistic. And I was like, that's
Wow.
so that's where the title came from. So you know, growing up I never thought I will
Um,
this will be my story, that I never thought I would be a statistic. So yeah.
Let me ask you, so did you, most times we don't see the signs, you know? You meet the person, you marry the person, and the real person doesn't show up in the beginning because they put their best representative first in the forefront. And so you're not even thinking about these things. But when did you first start noticing things just didn't seem right? Or did you notice?
I think there's, based on my personal experience and based on how hard headed I was in the beginning, I mean, I'm still kind of are a little bit, but I think there's always something, right? But we choose to deny it, or we choose to ignore it for whatever reason. Um, I like to say whatever lie we tell ourselves, whatever make us feel better at the moment. Um, there's always a couple of things that kind of seems off, and we choose to ignore them. Um, I'm trying to find some example. I'm not saying that, you know, like you go out with somebody and they decide they're not you have to pay your share of the dinners. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like more controlling actions. Like we, us women, we tend to define as caring situation. Let's say that I remember, you know, like if you will buy something, I will have to wear it. And if I don't wear it, it will get really upset and take it like very personal. But we all different people. We have our own
Yeah.
tastes and likes, right? And it's part of getting to know somebody. Like I
Mhm.
don't have to like the same thing that you likes, right? So little stuff like that. And then that somebody might interpret it as, oh my gosh, like he likes me so much. He just, you know, he cares so much. But it's little thing that the person trying to like define you as somebody else, and that you're not, like little stuff like that that you might not pay attention, or it
Mhm.
feels weird but you interpret it like, you know, as a different something else. Or you know, like I said, like let's say we're making plans, because that was part of the plans that I also choose to ignore. It's like, okay, so we're gonna do this, we're gonna get married, and then where are we gonna live next? Okay, so he's gonna take you away from everything and everybody, you know, like we're gonna move away. Um, you know, like you're not gonna have access to your family
Mhm.
members, your friends, um you know, because you're married now. I know, like once you're married you have certain behavior that you used to do, like you know, you might not be want or have to do anymore because it's a different lifestyle. But at the same time, the drastic changes, things that will not allow you to be you anymore, like things like
Yeah.
that, like um and other
Well,
things, the
let-
controlling part, right?
yes. Okay.
Because some changes you cannot change somebody, they have to want to change, or you know, God put it in their heart that, you know, they need to change stuff, but a person cannot change another person. So they're trying to control
Yeah.
mm, who you are, what you wear, where you go, and the way they do it, the violence that come with it,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So,
It's, I always tend to say when somebody feels like they need to control another individual opposed to allowing them to have their free will, it's because they truly don't know who they are
mm,
when you think about it, you know? And sometimes people just want to dim someone else's light.
mm,
But that, it's a part of your story. I never thought I would be a statistic is a part of your story. And you have come so far doing the work, building, rebuilding, getting your confidence back. And I don't want to stay there because you published that book years ago And it doesn't mean that you still don't feel the trauma or the pain from it all, but you're in such a different headspace today that you are empowering, encouraging people. And you're also in the service business. So a part of who you are and what you do is about healing and helping others.
Yeah.
And so with that, you know, how did you find the strength to come up out of it? Because most times people think they're just going to see a way out of it. And
Um, I mean, how did I get
and
the
let me
strength?
okay. So tell us,
Yeah.
how did you find the courage and the strength? And from that, we're going to pivot.
Okay. Um, I would not say it
Okay,
was
little
about
technical.
courage or strength.
Can you hear me, Joanne?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Joanne, can you hear me?
I do. Are you
All right.
hearing me?
So while we're trying to figure this out, I don't know what. I always get these issues. I tell you. I listen. Hopefully, okay, she'll come back up. Let's see what's going on. And then but right now her story, I don't want to dive so much into, you have to read her book. And in reading her book, you'll really get the full essence of her story. But I wanted her to highlight some areas of her story. So she can show you how she used her pain and shifted it into her purpose for her new book that she has, which is a monthly journal guide to becoming intentional, 12 months of empowerment. So I'm going to pull Joanne back in. And so she can really tell you how she was able to find the strength to come up from her abusive situation in the marriage that she was in. Joanne, I have you back, right?
I was always there. I don't know what happened.
Joanne, can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good, good. I don't know what, sometimes I can hear you.
I was
So
always there. I was
if you
saying,
can hear me right now, I have you on.
okay.
I'm going to pull you all the way up on screen. But I just want you to tell everyone, how were you able to find the strength to come up from
Mm,
the abuse, the relationship, the marriage, to actually start on a new path?
okay. So, I think there's two part of the question. If I understood
I think I
well,
need to do some weird. Go ahead, I hear you. All right, it's coming together in the process as we are coming up. So Joanne, can you hear me okay?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can. Go ahead. You have it.
So I was saying that I think there's two part of the question. I'm trying to see if I get it well. So I think the first will be how did I get the strength to get out, right? Um,
Yes.
Getting out was a very long process, especially because I had a child involved and I was in school, so I had to kind of like wait what would be best for me and for my kid at the time.
Hmm.
Um, so I had tried to leave a couple of times, went to a shelter, had to go back because for many different reasons, financially, support, environment. Um, that's why I always tell people nobody really leave until they're ready. And to leave also it has a lot to do psychologically because you have to feel like I always say it's easier to stay in a situation that you're familiar with because you learn how to navigate around it than to just go to like the unknown. The unknown is like very scary. So,
Right.
but what really kind of like made me realize and understand that this wasn't gonna change is a part that I describe in my book, where he actually tried to choke me in front of my child, and that's when I realized that, whatever the situation, this is not good for me, and I might actually really lose my life, and
Yes.
I will not know, what would happen to my kid, and that's kind of like where I pull out the strength that I really needed to do something about this, and I kind of like started taking the steps, because it's a process, like I mentioned. I started taking the steps into, getting out, and then looking for help and searching, and going through all the different layers that come with this. And where did I find the strength to kind of help others? I think it was more about passion than actual courage, sorry, because I was never the person that will stand in front of a crowd and talk. Until now, like, when I tell people, I still get nervous. It was like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm dying inside. I just learned how to do this, right? Because the passion that come with it, it's bigger than the fear. Um,
Yeah.
Going through this myself, I wanted to prevent other people to go through it, and that's where the book came from. I was not trying to get money or anything. At the
Yeah.
time, that was a way of expression for me. I wanted to show other people, male and female, right, that if I went through this and I was able to get out, that there's also hope. Like, anybody can do it, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I just wanted to show people, like, if I did it, like, you can do it. So from the book, right? People
Yes.
started reading it, and people who didn't know was like, oh my gosh, right? That's where the other opportunity came from. And people was like, oh my gosh, like, this really happened. And that's where, I started getting invitation to go different places and talk, like the TVs and the radio, whatever. And people started related to me, and some were curious. So a lot of different reasons, but things
Exactly.
started happening. But it really came from a place of me really wanting to help and prevent other people to go through the same thing I've been through. So that's where the whole thing came from.
That's such a selfless act also, because you're still dealing within your own pain and you're still trying to figure it out. You don't have all the answers. And then shame becomes a part of your story, because people always have something to say, like they walked a day in your shoes. And
Until
it's like,
today, I had people coming and tell me, I don't know why you're still talking about this. This happened a long time ago. I think you need some for you to move on.
wait,
And I'm like, I smile, because I'm like, you don't understand. You don't get why I'm doing it. You don't understand why I'm starting it. And I really learned not to take a lot of things personal anymore.
right,
So some things stop hurting me, or take
that's
time in
right.
my hand. Like, you just don't get it. Maybe one day you'll get it, or
It
maybe it's
don't
not
even matter. It don't
understand.
even matter if they get it or not. Because you know what's so interesting? People that don't know you and have something to say, they don't understand how you have risen up and now you're the victor. You're
Yeah,
not the
they see me
victim.
then. They didn't know me before. They didn't see
Exactly.
that part of my life, and they only see this now. And everybody has their own opinion of me.
Exactly.
So yeah.
But you know what? It's so, I mean, just speaking to your courage to be able to find healing by sharing your story. And, as a publisher, and I work with a lot of authors that find the strength and the courage to be able to open up and share their story with others, as painful as it is, knowing that they have to relive through that all over again to write it out. And then once you put it out in the world, now the world is seeing it for the first time and you have to relive it all over again.
Good. Yeah.
And every time you take something from it, you gain strength in it. but to turn that pain into your purpose and your power,
Yeah.
so others feel like there is someone they can confide in that can understand their story. I commend you.
Thank
And
you.
you're right. Cancel the noise out. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to say what they think you should or shouldn't do, and how could
To
you,
feel
and
how you
why.
feel.
Yeah, but here you are. Here you are. And you didn't just stop at that book telling, really going into details. That's why I said, to know her story, please make sure you go to Amazon and purchase her book. Go to Amazon and purchase I Never Thought I Would Be a Statistic. Because, there's some people out there right now that's probably saying the same thing to themselves.
Hmm.
I never thought I would be a statistic. I never thought this would happen to me,
Yeah.
but it's happening. So you took that and you shifted a few years later, and you shifted into now a book, a 12-month empowerment journal that really allows people to talk about their pain, talk about their situations in this journal. You literally brought your readers into a space that they can look at their lives and begin to start going through their healing journey and their process. So let's talk about the why to that. Why
Why
that?
do that? It's not as beautiful as you just said it.
Ah,
Like it's very interesting. Like I like hearing people. I like the stories because I believe there's power in the story. But I really enjoy listening to people opinion about me. Like it's really fun. But and becoming intentional, right? Where this came from? This is becoming intentional. Going through after going through everything I went through, whatever, and I like the also to just to go back a little bit. You mentioned something about going back to write the book, right? People don't always understand that you have to go relieve
yes.
what happened another time. And I'm gonna have a moment of the truth right now. A lot of people has been asking me, where is the second part? When is this coming out? You need to keep writing. I actually started writing a couple of years ago, but I was like, I'm not going back to relive this. I don't think I'm ready for this because
Yeah.
it takes a lot. It actually takes a lot, and as beautiful and satisfying the product might look right now,
Yeah.
it took a lot to get to that part. It took a lot of courage, and that's when I get to understand. A lot of people say they know me, but they don't really know me. Um, and going through, the process is sitting down and trying to navigate, and also me being a chicken mom, right? My kid always come first. So
Yes.
being in the eye of the public, you have to be wise on what you're sharing and what you're not sharing. Wanted to have specific conversation first with my child, and not having him to learn about me in a book. All of this come into place in writing, and what I'm sharing and not sharing. Not that I'm trying not to to hide stuff. That's not the thing. I hope people understand that
Definitely.
part, right? It's a lot, and the part where I have to go back and suffer. I mean, it's maybe suffer a bit drastic, but go through that pain again. You know,
Yeah, that's what people I don't
you have to, yeah, you have to be in
yeah,
a mental
a
space
headspace,
exactly where you're
you
able
know?
to do it and not letting it take empower you over and then get
Exactly.
out of it. So
That's
I
wise. I don't want to just skip over that because it makes sense. Even though people are like, what's part 2? What's the next part of it? People never take into consideration your process.
no,
And you know what? And because you've come so far, it's like my mental stability and my mental state right now, I'm not equipped to have to go back into that dark place, you
exactly.
know? And it doesn't mean that you haven't overcome, it doesn't mean that you haven't been healed from certain things. It's just when you're in a healthy space, you protect that space,
Yes.
because now you shifted into another place. And now that place has been a place of empowering others, empowering yourself. So,
And we
um,
still have triggers, right?
yes.
We talk about that later, but
No, no,
to
that's a good
answer.
point. That's, you know what? That's a good point because the triggers we don't take into account, but something so small can bring you back to that
Yeah.
place. And so, even with you saying that, I think that's a part of also why you protect yourself. Like, I'm not ready. Book two's not coming. It's not coming just yet.
That's just
When
so
it
we're still in
comes,
the
it'll come.
process. And the story, it's like a never-ending story. Keep getting better and better.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So, talking about becoming intentional,
Mhm.
this came also from a place of hurt. Um, but I always been a very intentional person, right? Very kind of aware of my emotion, maybe too much. So I went through a time after this where doing the work, trying to be better, and then going out there where I was hurt again, and I was very depressed, right? And raising my son alone, I didn't want to be a depressed mom, and I was like, I didn't want to be that for him every day of his life. I didn't want him to deal with my choices in life. And I was like, okay, this is happening. How do I manage this? What do I do? And I wanted to do better. So I remember it was like new we I went to church for New Year, right? I was praying and still smiling because people never can tell what I'm going through. Thank God. That's for that. And
Mhm.
I was praying and I was like, I need to get out of that funkiness, right? This is not me, like, and I can't function like this. And it just came. God revealed that to me. It's just like you need to do the work. So I was like, okay, so
Wow.
this is what I'm gonna do because everything, nothing good is done in a like just like that.
Exactly.
And I realized how bad the space was for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a year and work on myself. And then it's like, okay. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the year. How am I gonna do that? And I was like, I'm going to work on these areas that I know for sure I'm struggling with. And whether it's, self-esteem, or weakness, or things that you think you dealt with, but you realize that you did not really deal with, and you carry them along, and they become a baggage. So I was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna work on this. And then I was like, okay, I'll take the 12 months. This is going to be my years of um selfishness, not selfishness, but I'm
Good.
gonna take the time for me because I don't think you can give what you don't have. And how you gonna, go to these people and then being this life for them when you're dealing with all of this darkness inside. So that's where the idea come from. And I was like thinking, okay, so what am I gonna do? Okay, January came and I was like, okay, I always tell people, like do something you never done or whatever. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna work on boldness. A- And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, how am I gonna do this? And the ideas started coming from, and they started coming, and I'm like, okay, let's do something you never done before. And I was like, okay, so what can I do for boldness? And I remember that year. I just got up and I shaved my hair. And I was like, you gotta be bold, you gotta go
I
bold,
love
you gotta
it.
do
I love
boldness.
it.
Right. So I shaved my hair. And I was like, what? It was like, this actually look good on you. I was like, yeah. So it's like, okay, and that's where the writing started coming. And I was writing it,
Wow.
I was actually doing it, right? And I'm like, okay. And then first week, how did you feel? Like, not really caring about what the negative opinion, and then
Yeah.
going through it. February, it's forgiveness, because we talk a lot about forgiveness, but we are not forgiving. We are not forgiving
That's good.
people. We
You're
put
right.
sometimes say, okay, I'll do this. to this extent, but it's never fully entirely. So I was like, okay, forgiveness, is it forgiveness with myself or forgiveness with others? And especially, going to church, you said we forgive people, and then you realize like
Mhm.
they forgive them. There's always a but, like, I'm gonna do this, but I'll forgive you, but stay away from me. Physical limitation. So it was like, okay, so okay, what am I doing? Am I forgiving myself? Forgiving myself for my decision, because I'm a person that I'm very, very hard on myself, and I believe, like, like the choices you make, like, and I'm like, I made some choices, and I thought I could have made better, and I carried this along the way. So I had to do a lot of forgiveness with myself and other people, meet them where they are, understanding their action, because sometimes, like, you think people are doing things purposely to hurt you, and you hold on to that, but sometimes, like, it also has to do with the space that they are in. It's like, if you were in their shoes, would you make a better decision? So I had to kind of like try to get to that space in my head, and then trying to understand, not allowing people to walk on me, right? Because I
Yes,
believe in disconnection when it comes to that, but really understanding, right, the reason why is that person, because sometimes people, they don't know better. It's like, how you
that's
gonna do
true.
better if you don't know better?
That's
It's just
true.
get to that space really of understanding, right? And in March, I choose self-love because I was born in March, right? So I was like, I'm gonna take the whole month to love myself. So everything I did in March was like about me.
Good for
um
you.
like, work on that in different layers of self-loving, whether it's therapy, whether it's like going to a spa, taking care of your hair, your nails, like things you like to wear, perfume. I love perfume, right? Buy myself perfume, still stuff like
It's
that.
the little things. It's the little
Yeah,
things.
it doesn't have to be something really major, right? I'm not saying go ahead and cut your hair like I did, but
So
it's depend on you and what will make you feel good in your skin. And so that's how this came out. And I did this for a year. Every month it was like I work on a team, and then at the end I could, even if I wasn't where I really wanted to be, but I was better. I
yes,
was better. I had my strength back. Um, I had like a better smile, because I mean, I'm always smiling, but sometimes, like, you smile. It's just a habit. I smile, but I'm going through stuff like everybody else.
I'm the same way. Yeah,
Exactly, right?
absolutely. I'm the
So
same way, never lose a
being
smile. But you know what? I love that you said, Joanne, you said something talking about you actually, when this book, Becoming Intentional, came to you,
and
you
also,
took a
like,
journey for a
so
year
yeah,
to
the title
live
becoming,
this book.
yeah, and also, like, not to interrupt you, I wanted to also emphasize on that. And the title was
No,
Becoming
no, go ahead.
Intentional, because everything was made with intention. So that's where the power is, right? It's decision that you make intentionally. You don't wait for life to just
Yes.
lifing. It's just to sit down, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and this is why I'm gonna do it. And that's where the title came from, Becoming Intentional, taking, you know like, taking power
I
over
love
your
that. I
and
love
everything.
how you position yourself.
So yeah.
Exactly. I love how you position yourself. You position yourself and you had a made up mind. So it starts with the mindset. You
Exactly.
knew that for you, in spite of anybody else, you needed something for you. So you tested it, proven, and then you shared it.
Yeah,
And we keep jumping around here.
because I'm a strong,
So,
I
but I
believe
love
it's,
that you
yeah.
became your own example.
And I didn't want to
I love
tell
that.
people something, and I had no idea what it was. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this first for myself and see how it goes. Because if I believe in honesty, integrity. maybe, some will say that's kind of like tacky, especially these days, but I will not want to be the person talking about something and not know having no idea what I'm talking about, or coming presenting me away, and it's just like not what it is. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, well, listen, let me ask you this as we kind of bring this coffee break to an end. So, one, how can people connect with you? Because people are contacting you, people are speaking out,
Okay.
as well as there's something big. Now, let's talk about this new nomination also real quick.
Oh my
Has
gracious.
has it been finalized? What's going
Oh
on with that?
boy. The voting ended last night, so we're still waiting. But this was a very interesting
Okay.
experience for me. I think my son is gonna hate me for
Okay.
saying this out loud. But and he already gave me the look. Oh boy. So actually this contest I wanted to do it last year. Uh just I like trying new things, and I was thinking, oh, I never been in a
Listen,
contest.
tell everybody what it is. Tell everybody what this contest was.
Oh boy, it's a nomination to be part of the 100 I think 100 top young Haitian. So it's
Yes.
just Haitians, Haitian people from with Haitian background who's doing great thing in the
Mhm.
community. So you get to be nominated, and if you won, you're gonna be on the cover page of their magazine, and then get some interviews and representing their
Yeah.
brand. Um,
Yeah.
so it was interesting. It was fun. I didn't know it was gonna be that hard. It's like a full time job. I'm like, how are you gonna keep calling people and asking them to vote for you, answer the question? And I'm like, oh my gracious, what did I got myself into? And funny enough, interesting enough, I was talking to my son. He's gonna be 14 next month.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, okay, so I'm doing this thing, and then would you mind share with your friend because I need vote or whatever. So he opened it, and it was like 100 hot Haitian. And he look at me, and I'm like, huh, like what's the problem? Like share the link, like I'm waiting. He's like, Mom, did you read the title? Hot? And I'm like, okay, so
Exactly.
it's like you can be a mom and be in a contest that's called hot. Like what they calling you hot for? Hot mama? And I'm like, huh? Like what? It's like, yeah, it's like I'm not sharing this. I am not sharing a link to my friend so they can next thing they're gonna be calling you hot. And I was speechless. I was lost. My mind was so far
Yes.
from it. So I had to sit down and reevaluate myself. He wouldn't share the link. It was like
He don't want his friends to see you as a hot mama.
he
Look.
doesn't stop there. And he was like, I'm protecting you, mom. I was like, what? You're protecting me. I'm protecting you.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I was like, what is going on? And then
That
he
is
was like,
funny.
you an adult. That's him talking. You're an adult. I cannot tell you what to do with your life. But me, I'm not sharing this. I was like, what? And he wouldn't share. I had to beg
He's
for it.
protecting. He's protecting his mama. Look.
He shared it to one or two people. So we had to have a whole conversation about the word hot. It's just a word, and it doesn't have to mean this. So I was like, okay, let me start a new campaign. It's like, you know what? You can be different ways, and then
Exactly.
you're still hot. Like, it can be you're
Exactly.
selfish. And he was like, Mom, I really salute you for this. But you know what? I believe in you. I just don't believe in society. So I was done. I was like, I give
Okay,
up.
listen.
I give up.
Okay, thank you for my reality check. Okay.
Thank you very
Listen, just know you got a hot
much.
mama. Okay.
It's like no. It's like wait, and then was it like 2 days ago? I was getting ready for life, and I was like, okay, how do I look like? I think I'm cute. And he look at me. You look like my mother. So this is, it's like okay, at least we're having fun. Somebody's having fun. I'm
Let
like,
me
oh,
tell
this
you.
kid. So I was like, okay, so I guess that should be my name now.
Exactly. Let me tell you, kids know how to put a pin in it and deflate us, right? It's
Like,
like,
you have a
thanks for
look
being
for
so
me.
honest. You,
Thank you.
once again,
Thank
your
you for
opinion.
reminding me every day.
Exactly.
Like I didn't know. Like I did not know. So yeah,
He's protecting you. I don't want the world to see my mom is hot.
no, no, yeah.
That is funny.
Like
Well,
woman,
listen,
relax, chill. Your
I
mother.
hope you win.
I was like, oh my gosh, we'll see.
Absolutely. So, how can people, one, both your books are available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, in different stores online. So,
Yeah.
please make sure you go and support Joanne. If you are someone or know someone that has gone through any type of abusive relationship, mental, physical, spiritual, whatever it is, read her story, and be encouraged by her story as she is looking to empower you. So make sure you stop by Amazon and go and get the copies of her book. And how can people get in touch with you through your
Well,
social media?
yeah, they can, it's my name. You can just
Okay.
Google Joanne like it is.
Oh, like it is on the screen. Is it the middle
Exactly.
initial also?
Yes, Joanne M. Charisma. Everything is Joanne M.
Okay.
Charisma. And also if they want to email me, if they have question or looking for me to speak at any event, they can go on my website. It's also
I'm
www.joannemcharisma.com.
just going to type it on the screen just so it's there and they have it. Joanne M. Okay. Charisma.
JoanneMcherisma.com.
ma.com. All right, we're going to add that to the screen as well. And then
Yeah,
that's it, right?
that's it.
Yes, so they can reach out to you also and
And
stay
also the
connected with
social,
you.
Instagram, Facebook. Somebody just made me create a Snapchat. I'm new to that world, so
I know, girl.
I'm lost. I'm still
I
figuring
can't keep
it
up with
out.
it all either.
I can't.
We just need to hire some young people.
I know, but
Yeah,
yeah. So, but it's a dark way to find out, and I always
okay,
read all my messages, and
good.
I'll make sure I'll get back to whomever reach out.
Great. So all your social media handles is under your name as well.
Yes.
The same thing. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes it a
Just they
lot
gotta make
easier.
sure they put the M initial because
Yes.
I find out there's another lady in Florida who has the exact same name with exact same spelling, Joy Charisma.
Wow.
So that's why I put the middle initial in everything.
Okay, make sure you add the M, the
Yeah.
middle initial. All right, great. Joanne, it is always a pleasure. I
Yeah.
know you got something brewing, coming out, thinking about your next moves,
I
but
know.
in the process of it all, continue to empower and uplift yourself first and foremost, because you are the leading lady in your life, you know. And as you continue to share with others, and as you continue to empower others, even in your workspace, because you are in an industry that helps those mentally, physically, emotionally in their own healing journey. So I appreciate you so much. And like I said, you've been a part of the HOV publishing family for years.
Yes.
And here we are
There's now.
talking about it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's
Oh,
always
you're
a
so
pleasure
welcome.
to work with you and connect with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any parting words that you want to leave with everyone out there listening?
Well, two things I always want to say. If you're alive, that's mean there's always hope, right? Don't ever get discouraged, and as long as you breathe, things can get better. You just need to get to that space where you understand and you realize that you're not alone. There's always help, and one day at a time, and also give yourself some grace because we tend to
That's right.
judge ourselves based on what we see on the outside, based on other people's accomplishment and things that we don't understand because you only see what other people allow you to see. You never know really what's going on behind closed door. So don't let that define you as a person, define your journey, and enjoy every day as it's come, and one day at a time, one day at a
Uh,
time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to have you stay on for a second while I just bring it to a close. But thank you, Joanne. And you know what? You can always stop by for coffee. Hey,
So,
by the way, what was you drinking today? Because I've been sipping on my coffee throughout.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so
Yeah,
I'm drink tea. So
that's fine. I always say if it's not coffee, is it tea? Is it a smoothie? Is it water, soda, juice? Whatever it is, just join us on the coffee break.
so, thank you so
Stand,
much.
you're so welcome. Stand by for 1 second, okay? So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I just want to say Joanne really stirred up today. And being able to share with us her finding her voice after trauma, the power of storytelling and advocacy, you know, and how she turned her life lessons into legacy tools. She did. And then intentional journaling, giving you the option for a mindset shift and a daily empowerment over 12 steps. So make sure you go out and you purchase a copy of her books on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, whatever location you like. It's there. Just go purchase it. And you know how we do. We sip slow, and I want you to write bold, and I want you to choose to live intentionally on purpose. And you can start that today. Okay. You can start doing that today. So, once again, thank you all for chiming in, joining in on Authors Brew Friday. All your comments, thank you so much. And if you have not stopped by, look in the description. Make sure you go to Hope of Vision Connect to YouTube and join the community. Yes, thank you so much. It's because of all you that the numbers are growing globally. Thank you. I will see you on Monday. And thank you all just for yesterday, your patience, having a bunch of technical difficulties yesterday. So thank you. Thank you. We will start with that message on Monday. Have a great weekend. Please be safe. Please be safe. And like I said, choose to live intentionally on purpose. Start today if you haven't already. Have a great day. Bye bye now.